Topic of today's discussion is CPCSA guidelines for laboratory animal facility. Myself, Dr. Dipti Bandavne, working as Professor, Department of Pharmacology at Progressive Education Society's Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigadi, Pune. In this session, we are going to discuss about CPCSA and its guidelines related to animal house facility with regard to animal care, animal procurement and transport, quarantine, sanitization and cleaning, and record keeping in animal house. CPCSA is the Committee for the Purpose of Control and Supervision of Experiments on Animals. It is government appointed committee with an intention to promote the human care of animals used in biomedical and behavioral research. At institutional level, CPCA works through IAAC, that is Institutional Animal Ethics Committee. Under the guidance of CPCA, through IAAC, every institute has to follow the guidelines for animal experimentation. CPCSA guidelines related to animal care are introduced with an intention to assure quality maintenance and welfare of animals used in laboratory studies while conducting the experiment. The veterinary care must be provided adequately and is the responsibility of a veterinarian or a person with experience of laboratory animal sciences or medicine. It includes daily observation of animals, reviewing the protocol and proposals. This is related to animal study protocols which have to be sanctioned prior to the initiation of animal experiments, supervising animal nutrition and sanitation. And the animal care also includes monitoring animal husbandry zoonosis control programs related to the animals. Important aspect of animal care is animal procurement and transport of those animals. Animal procurement must be lawfully as per CPCSA. A health surveillance program for screening of incoming animals should be carried out to assess the animal quality. Methods of transportation should be taken into account. Transport of animals from one place to another must be done with care with considerations like mode of transport, containers, animal density in cages, food and water during transit, protection from transit infections, injuries and stress. Animals can be transported by road, rail or air depending on the distance, seasonal and climatic conditions and the species of animals. The containers of transport should be of appropriate size so as to enable these animals to have a comfortable free movement and protection from possible injuries to avoid transport stress. The transport containers, cages or crates should be of appropriate size and only a permissible number of animals should only be accommodated in each container to avoid overcrowding or infighting. Separation of newly received animals from those already in the facility until the determination of health and possible microbial status of the newly received animals should be done. It minimizes the chance of introduction of pathogens into an established animals. Duration of small lab animal for quarantine is 1 week to 1 month, whereas large animals the duration is 6 weeks. Regarding the stabilization of animals, the newly received animals should be given a period for physiologic, psychologic and nutritional stabilization in the animal house before their use. This stabilization depends on type and duration of animal transportation, species involved and intended use of the animals. Once the stabilization period is over, it is needed to separate the animals. The physical separation of animals by species is recommended by housing different species of animals in separate rooms. This is to prevent interspecies disease transmission, anxiety, physiological and behavioral changes due to interspecies conflict. For all these things, a separate person should be appointed for taking care of animals. All the animals should be observed daily for signs of illness, injury or abnormal behavior. More frequent observations have to be done during post-operative recovery or in case of sick animals. Animals showing signs of contagious diseases should be isolated from healthy animals. Animal group exposed to an infectious agent should be kept intact and isolated during the process of diagnosis, treatment and control. For those experiments where animal experimentation involves hazardous agents, the protocols should be put forward to Institutional Biosafety Committee as well as Institutional Animal Ethics Committee, and after the approval from these committees, then only the experimentation should be carried out. Also, the animal experimentation involving multiple surgical procedures on a single animal should be proceeded only when specified in protocol and approved by IAC. No animal experimentation involving duration of more than 3 years should be carried out unless adequate justification. An important aspect of animal care is physical restraint of animals. It is basically needed for examination, collection of blood samples, and variety of other clinical and experimental procedures. It can be done manually or with suitable devices to minimize stress or injury. Whatever method is applicable, there are certain guidelines for use of restraint equipment that has to be followed at the time of physical restraint. As per the guidelines, restraint devices cannot be used simply as a convenience in handling or managing animals. Period of restraint should be kept minimum. Animals to be placed in restraint should be given training to adapt to the equipment. Provision should be made to observe the animal at certain intervals, and veterinary care should be provided if illness associated with restraint are observed. Any institute or firm who is involved in conducting animal experiments should have proper animal house facility as per CPCSA guidelines. A well-planned, properly maintained animal house facility is an important factor in good animal care. It should be separated from personnel areas such as offices, cabins, classrooms. This is to provide good animal husbandry and also for health protection. Animals should be isolated from human habitations as possible and should not be exposed to dust, smoke, noise, wild rodents, insects, and birds. Building, cages, and environment of animal rooms are the major factors which affect the quality of animals. The animal rooms should occupy 50 to 60% of total constructed area, and remaining area should be utilized for services like stores, washing, office, and staff, machine rooms, quarantine, and corridors. Since animals are very sensitive to environmental changes, sharp fluctuations in temperature, humidity, light, sound, and ventilation should be avoided in animal house. Environment of animal room, which is termed as macro environment, and environment of animal cages, which is termed as micro environment, influences the production and efficiency of animals, so it should be maintained properly. The caging or housing system should be designed carefully to facilitate animal well-being, meet the research requirements, and minimize experimental variables. The housing system should be constructed of sturdy, durable materials and designed to have minimum cross-infection between adjoining units. For small lab animals, polypropylene, polycarbonate, and stainless steel cages should be used, while for monkeys, the cages made of steel or painted mild steel should be used. The housing system should provide space that is adequate, permit freedom of movement and normal posture adjustments, and have a resting place appropriate to the species should be given. As per CPCSA guidelines for animal husbandry, there should be comfortable environment. There should have an escape-proof enclosure for animal safety. It should have an easy access to food and water and adequate ventilation. It should meet the biological needs of the animals, including body temperature, urination, defecation, and reproduction. The facilities regarding animal husbandry should facilitate research while maintaining good health of the animals. To simplify servicing and sanitation, cages should have smooth surfaces that neither attract nor retain dirt. There should be minimum number of angles and corners in which dirt and water can accumulate. The design should allow inspection of cage occupants without disturbing them. Feeding and watering devices should be easily accessible for feeding, changing, and servicing. For maintaining proper health of animals, food is very important. Animal food is generally referred as feed. Animals should be fed daily with palatable, non-contaminated, and nutritionally adequate feed unless the experimental protocols requires some different kind of feed. Feeders should allow easy access while avoiding contamination by urine and feces. Feed should be provided in sufficient amounts. This is to ensure normal growth in immature animals and to maintain normal body weight, reproduction, and lactation in adult animals. Diet or feed storage areas should be kept clean and enclosed to prevent entry of insects or other animals. Animal feed should be free from heavy metals like lead, arsenic, cadmium, nickel. It should also be free from naturally occurring toxins and other contaminants. Exposure to extremes of relative humidity, unsanitary conditions, light, oxygen, and insects increase the deterioration of food. Feed hoppers should not be transferred from room to room unless cleaned and properly sanitized. As per CPCSA guidelines, bedding is an important aspect of cleanliness in animal house. Bedding should be absorbent, free from toxic chemicals and other substances that cause irritation, injury to animals or personnel, and a type not easily eaten by animals. Bedding should be removed and replaced periodically with fresh materials as often as necessary to keep the animals clean and dry. In general, it is ideal to change the bedding twice a week or whenever requires. Nesting materials for newly delivered pups should be provided wherever needed, like paper cutting, tissue paper, cotton, etc. Animals should have continuous access to fresh, potable, uncontaminated drinking water according to their requirements. Sometimes it is necessary to train animals to drink water from automatic watering devices. Periodic monitoring of microbial contamination in water is necessary. It is better to replace fresh water bottles every day than to refill them. Sanitation is an essential activity in an animal house facility. Animal rooms, corridors, storage spaces, and other areas should be properly cleaned. This can be done with appropriate detergents and disinfectants as often as necessary to keep them free of dirt, debris, and harmful agents of contamination. Cages should be sanitized before animals are placed in them. Animal cages, racks, and accessory equipments such as feeders and watering devices should be washed and sanitized frequently. This is to keep them clean and contamination free. Solid bottom rodent cages and accessories should be washed once or twice a week. Cages and racks should be washed at least monthly. The disinfection can be accomplished with appropriate chemicals. CPCSA have provided specific guidelines for cleaning of rabbits and some rodents cages. This is because rabbits and certain rodents like guinea pigs, mice, and hamsters, they produce urine with high concentration of proteins, ammonia, and minerals. Minerals and organic compounds in the urine often adhere to cage surfaces. Therefore, they should be treated with acid solution if necessary before washing. Water bottles, sipper nozzles, stoppers, and other watering equipments should be washed and then sterilized by rinsing with water at least 82 degrees Celsius or by use of appropriate chemical agents like sodium hyperchlorite. This is to destroy pathogenic organisms. Water bottles should be dipped or soaked in detergents and disinfectant solutions. Disposal of waste is an extremely important parameter in sanitization and cleanliness of animal house. Waste should be removed regularly and frequently. All waste should be collected and disposed of in a safe and sanitary manner. Most preferred method for waste disposal is incineration. Waste storage, if needed, should be separated from other storage facilities. Waste storage should be free of flies, cockroaches, rodents, and other vermins. Hazardous waste should be rendered safe by sterilization, decontamination, or other appropriate means before they are disposed of from an animal facility. Control is necessary to prevent, control, or eliminate the presence of insects. Institutional Animal Ethics Committee of the institute or any firm have CPCSA appointed nominee who is regularly checking the records maintained in animal house. This is generally done when the ISC meeting is arranged in the institute. The record include plan of animal house, staff record of animal house, technical and non-technical, health record of staff and animals, all standard operating procedures relevant to experiments, care, breeding and management of animals. Record regarding breeding of animals should be maintained if applicable. This is particularly related to those animal house who have got permission for breeding of animals. Records related to stock purchase and sales should be maintained. Minutes of ISC meeting should be maintained by animal house in charge. Record of experiments conducted with number of animals used, that is copy of Form D, should be maintained in animal house. Mortality record should also be maintained. Other documents needs to be kept in animal house include clinical record of sick animals, training record of staff involved in animal activities, water, feed and bedding material analysis report, health monitoring records of the individual associated with that as well as the staff involved, and rehabilitation records regarding animals. As per the CPCSA guidelines, animal house should maintain the standard operating procedures or certain guidelines related to methods adopted with regard to animal husbandry, maintenance, breeding, animal house activities, microbial testing and experimentation. The standard operating procedure should contain following things: name of the author, title of SOP, date of approval. Standard operating procedures should include objectives of the procedures, location and distribution of SOPs with sign of each recipient, details of instrument including model number, serial number, normal values of all parameters and hazard identification and risk assessment. In today's session, we have covered in detail the CPCSA guidelines for animal care and animal house facility for proper maintenance of experimental animals. Thank you.